I'm going to spin the UFO because we are about to talk about how gamers are actually physically fit and the stereotypes are wrong. Spinning that UFO for all you people out there. Thanks for hanging out. I'm watching the numbers rolling in. Here they come. No one's guessed it yet. No one's guessed it yet. I'm waiting. Where is it? No. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh my gosh, it's moving so fast. Hold on. Let's see. It is JC Kai. Or, yeah, JC? JC Kai, congratulations. It was 6. Oh, Tony, you were just behind with number 6, but it was JC Kai. Congratulations, JC. You win absolutely nothing, but I did call out your name, albeit maybe I didn't say it correctly, but that's all right because we're just having fun. So I'm going to put that die. This is my space die that I got from a certain lasagna out there. And yeah, we're having fun. Let's talk about how gamers are stereotyped. Gamer stereotypes, they're just not true. I love the start of that title. This is, of course, from 2 years ago, but it's fine. Gamers, they're teenagers, like young adults, slothy, lazy, without motivation, spend all their times, gaming. They're also typically unattractive, probably fat and or pale from spending so much time indoors playing video games. Brutal, but I mean, that's the stereotype, isn't it? Well, this is completely wrong. It's wrong. All right, and I've got multiple things proving that it's wrong. So let's dig in. So says this new research published from German researchers who examined 2,550 actual video game players, and the typical gamer stereotype is hard to miss from people who typically don't play many video games. Well, I kind of went over it. They summed it up perfectly in the first. This is very scientific on their stereotype here. But yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna read this. This is kind of crazy how scientific sounding it is. Online game players are stereotypically male and young, pale from too much time spent indoors, and socially inept. As a new generation of isolated and lonely couch potatoes, young male gamer players are far from aspirational figures. An empirical query from Cohort et al. Found that the stereotype of online gamers revolves around 4 themes: unpopularity, unattractiveness, idleness, and social incompetence. The researchers also found evidence to suggest that these negative characterizations have become personally endorsed as accurate representations of the online gaming community. All right, now that was my official voice. I'm going to go back to normal me here. And it's all BS, okay? None of this is real. This is all false, all right? Sampling and recruiting for the study was conducted using a 2-stage approach. First, a representative sampling of 50,000 individuals aged 14 and older were asked about their gaming behaviors in an omnibus telephone survey. Then from this sample, 4,500 video game players were called for a second telephone interview from which the current data was collected. Only those participants who completed all the questions related to the video game play were retained for the current analysis, which resulted in 2,550 subjects in the final study. The researchers said, as there is little empirical evidence related to the broader online gaming playing population and the validity of the stereotype of this group, this study is largely exploratory. However, if one were to endorse the kernel of truth hypothesis and assume the stereotype is grounded in fact, one would expect online gaming players to display more stereotypical qualities than offline video game players and non-players. These patterns should also be magnified amongst more involved online game players. I don't know what is drawing me to speak like that when I just feel like these people were expecting something so different. Like they're almost annoyed that their data didn't come out the way they wanted it to. It's like, no, dang it. Like why aren't they why isn't this stereotype correct? It should be correct. They should be fat. They should be, what is happening? Anyway. And what did they find? Not surprising to most gamers, the researchers did not find the large, broad differences between gamers and non-gamers. The one big difference they did find, age. The only significant difference to emerge between these groups was age. as online players were found to be significantly younger than offline or non-players, the researchers said. However, the average online player was found to be in their 30s rather than their teenage years, disputing the anecdotal prototype and confirming previous demographic findings. Not teenagers or young adults, but middle-aged adults. Based on their empirical data, the researchers conclude, here we go again, online players do not seem to be more lazy, overweight, or unathletic than offline or non-playing participants, as they are all reported similar levels of exercise, nor are particularly unpopular, socially inept, isolated, or reclusive, as online players reported equivalent levels of quality friendships and social ability as compared to other groups, as well as a greater social motivation to play than offline players. There you have it. Yeah, see, proof. The proof is in the gaming. However, the researchers did find that those who played video games all the time to the detriment of their ordinary lives did suffer. A positive relationship between involvement and problematic play amongst online players also emerged, indicating that the greater involvement one has in online gaming as an activity, the greater likelihood one will exhibit the qualities associated with the problematic play. Like salience, tolerance, mood modification, relapse, withdrawal, conflict, and other problems. In other words, if you let video games become your reason for waking up in the morning, not surprisingly, the rest of your life will suffer, which is pretty much true for any activity that consumes you. That's literally what I was thinking. Working, training to become a world-class athlete, watching a TV show marathon, model trains, random, where they went with that. But it is true. I mean, you do anything too much and you wake up and that's all you do. I mean, unless it's your main profession, Tim Pool. Literally, that's all he does is news and his work. But, it's like most people would go crazy. Most people it's going to damage their social life. Well, I mean, anyway. You know what? I got this other article. This is, so that was more, I feel, broad, right? This one's a little more specific. Fit gamers challenge fat stereotype. All right. Let's see. A new survey of 1,400 participants from 65 countries have found esports players are up to 21% healthier at a healthier weight than the general population. They hardly smoke and also drink less. 21%. Now that's a lot. Esports players are 21% healthier weight than the general population. That's a good chunk, I feel. Let's see, the findings published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health were based on 1,400 survey participants from 65 countries. First study to investigate the BMI, body mass index, status of a global samples of esports players. Esports players were between 9 and 21% more likely to be healthy weight than the general population. Esports players drank and smoked less than the general population. And the top 10% of esports players were significantly more physically active than lower level players, showing that physical activity could influence esports expertise. So maybe the more you work out, the more mental your blood's moving around and your brain's actually able to, function faster, better, stronger, And that's pretty cool. And it's actually not really surprising because you have to have a toned brain to play esports. It's about quick reaction, quick speed. The reaction time has to be on point. And if you're sluggish in your brain, you're not going to do very good in competitive esports. Trust me, I play a lot of first-person shooters, Dark Souls, player versus player. I love it, and you got to be really good. I mean, I've been really enjoying Cold War. It's fast, it's vicious. If you're going to be good at that game, you can't be sluggish at all. It's crazy. I got this one last article. The psychological benefits of video games. Oh, you heard that correctly. The psychological benefits of video games. Do you play for escape, challenge, connection? Have you ever played video games that immersed you so deeply that you came away thinking and feeling differently about life? We believe that gaming can foster health and well-being, enhance social connectedness, and help you flourish through challenge, immersion, and flow. You know what? Before I even get into it, I agree with this 100%. I have been able to connect with multiple friends of mine that I've had throughout my life, and I get to hang out with them still. One of my best friends, Will, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Will. Shout out to Will. He's a beast in many games. All right, and we it's his birthday today. I'm gonna hit him up after the show and be like, let's do this. Let's kill some people in Call of Duty because it's fun. I'm able to connect with my friends. I don't live anywhere near any of my friends anymore. I'm a traveler. I lived in Europe almost 2 years of my life, maybe. If I tallied up the time, I probably have lived in Europe for over 2 years. I love traveling around, but I can still maintain my friendships because of the internet, because of online gaming, and there's a sense of camaraderie. There's a sense of competition, that we could play against each other. We could play with each other against other people. There's so much more than just sitting and playing video games that I don't think a lot of people give credit to video games, but I really am interested in the rest of this article. All right, let's see. It's an interesting setup here. They have a graph. It says, how does playing video games make you feel? And then the research. We asked, do you feel that video games have an emotional or psychological benefit to you? And it looks like 88.4% said yes. 9% said not sure. And only 2.4% said no. That's incredible. And it's probably because people are finding communities there. A lot of the best games that I've played in the past have a group chat, have clans, all right, that you can group up, you play together, you meet people that are really cool, that are funny, that you connect with, and suddenly you have a friend where you might not have had a friend, all right? My Discord, all right, I've got a group of gamers on there now that now are just, they are friends, because of this channel, which is so cool. Granted, it's through this, but then also now they're talking about games, and there's another community. Community is part of humanity. We are social beings. When we're told you're not an adult until you move out of your parents' basement, until you move into your own apartment and live by yourself, then you're an adult. Yeah, but that sucks. You're by yourself. I've had roommates a lot, all right? And I've had bad roommates, terrible roommates that I've had to deal with. I had 20 roommates at no, not 20. There was 20 people that slept at this place at one time, but there was 12 people that were my roommates. It was insane. It was this crazy house I lived in when I first moved to New York when I was 19. Insane. It was a model apartment, all right, but it was a model house. There was beds everywhere, and there was guys coming from all different countries staying in this place. It was like 2 weeks at a time. It was completely packed, and then it would be empty for months. Insane. But man, was it insane. But I had a lot of fun too at the same time, because I got to meet a lot of different cultures and people from all over the world. But the real key is community. We're by ourselves. You kind of get lonely. You kind of lose yourself in your own thoughts. Video games, I can connect with my friends, like real life friends that I've loved maintaining relationships with. But a lot of these younger generations, maybe they don't even have a lot of friends. And then maybe they start playing a game where they meet a bunch of people that also don't have a lot of friends, but they all connect. Boom, a new community. That is an emotional benefit, a psychological benefit. Having a community is key. I'm just kind of going off. I'm not even reading the research of this website. This is just what I believe. But I'm going to keep reading here. Let's see, which games can help you in a tough time? Your suggestions have encompassed so many different types of play across many generations in games and console. Wherever you look, you can find inspiration of video games, which could help you feel a bit better, to help with social skills, or even just distract from everyday stress and provide space to work through issues in life. Below, we represent a bunch of the games. Okay, I see there's a bunch of different games. Well, I haven't played Bound. I haven't played Vorns, but I've played Destiny, and Destiny gets a lot of hate. But anyone who says they hate Destiny, guaranteed that they loved Halo. I'm not joking around, because they're the same company. All right, they made a Destiny. It was basically PlayStation Halo. All right, if you don't like Destiny, it's because you don't have PlayStation. You play Xbox. I don't care. I said it. All right, it was an incredible game, and one of the best things about it is its community. There's certain things, they're called raids. all right? Or you have to have other people join you to do them because they're complicated. They're puzzles. You have to work together. And if you don't work together, it doesn't work. And it's crazy. Then, of course, you could take your same character and go fight other players in the Crucible or the PvP zone, player versus player. All this kind of stuff. I don't know a lot of these other games, actually. Stardew Valley, I think that's a co-op game, but it's a relaxing thing. People love their stuff, you know, collecting games, building games. We're builders, too, humans, you know. We love building stuff. So I don't know a lot more of these games. Does it just go into games? Is that all it is? Yeah, so they just have all these different games that I guess just talk about, you know, the positivities that they bring. But yeah, games. I mean, games are great. I love games. You know, you can see my PS5 right there. I love that thing so much. It is fantastic. Not a lot of my friends have PS5, but the beauty of PlayStation, and especially Cold War, I'm playing against my buddy who's got a PS4, another buddy who's got a computer, who has the computer, or, you know, the game. Excuse me. We can play, and we have been. It's fantastic. So yeah, gaming, the stereotypes. Yeah, I mean, everything's shifting, man. There's a huge shift in the air, and a lot of that is happening.